Join us for a review of the new Skoda Superb Facelift here as Sportline. Let's go! Here in the front we can see the new front grille alignment with the headlamps. So headlamps have moved closer to the front grille and also a little bit slimmer. So overall a more elegant and sporty design here in the Superb Facelift for all the models. Headlamps also now start from LED and optional they get this matrix LED light. We also have it right here. Then in the lower part the Sportline adds this honeycomb structure grille and a stronger spoiler, so it has a nice sport look. Overall, I think it's the most beautiful Skoda there is, and also if you compare it to other vehicles, I think a very, very beautiful car here already in the front. By the way, the EV opening for the plug-in hybrid, the charging is already right here at the front. Press it right here and open it, and then you can recharge right there. 4 meters 86, 15'9" or 191 inches is the length of the Skoda Superb. And it's available as sedan, saloon, or here I would also call it Fastback, or as the Combi that also continues right there. We also have a review to that. It will be linked in the video description or in the pinned comment. And the Sportline here has the sporty look. We also have contrasting mirror caps here in black, also black frames around the windows. It would usually come already with 19-inch wheels. However, these ones here are 18-inch. Together with winter tires, summer tires would have the 19-inch then. Then we have the Sportline badge and also this black contrast in the lower side bumper right there. This beautiful blue color, by the way, today is called Race Blue at Skoda, and we call it Thomas Blue on Autogefühl. So the Superb Facelift here in the rear, new taillamp design, also with this crystalline structures, very beautifully done. Then we have a Skoda lettering here now at the back. This is also new with the facelift. And the Sportline adds this black spoiler right here, black design right there, so again a little bit sportier. Yay, we got hydraulic struts, engine parts. So you have turbo petrol engines, 1.5 TSI with 150 horsepower, 2-liter TSI with 190 or 272 horsepower, and a 2-liter TDI with 150 or 190 horsepower. And this one is the new plug-in hybrid, 1.4 TSI, made it with the electric motor, here the electric components here in orange. Overall 218 horsepower system power, 13 kilowatt hour battery, around a little bit less than 50 kilometers of electric range effectively in real life, and a little bit less than 30 miles that is. And 7.7 is the acceleration figure, 7.7 seconds to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. So that's comparable to a 190 horsepower diesel or 190 horsepower petrol engine. The Sportline steering wheel with perforated sides, or almost all the way around, just the top part not, and a flat bottom. Here again the carbon fiber style inserts. Then the seats, Sportline seats, pretty amazing. They're actually a little bit wider, especially for tall people. They are very suitable. And then they have this quilted structure here with the Alcantara on the inside and leatherette on the outside. So also animal friendly, good choice. There are also different fabric styles available. They also are looking pretty premium already, so you don't have to go for the Sportline seats if you don't want to. You also have some, let's say, less expensive choices, but the Sportline seats are definitely one of the highlights. Now getting inside, easy, and a lot of room here. You feel like you are in a big vehicle. It's actually also not a small vehicle, but you have abundance of space, and especially these Sportline seats here are suitable for taller people. They're more voluminous, they offer more support, yet again more space on the seat itself. Interior overview, soft touch here at the top of the dashboard, and again this carbon fiber style. The glove box actually quite spacious and can also be cool. Then you either have an 8-inch screen now with the facelift, or this option 9.2-inch screen. Soon more details to that. And on the left side you still have the possibility for analog gauges with a Superb facelift, and then optional these 10.25-inch digital instruments. And they also have some special features here with the IV. Soon more to that. The steering wheel here, good compact size, left side volume control, right side to control something of the inside of the screen right there. We still have a manual climate unit. I think that's pretty cool, easy to control it while driving, also with seat heating and so on. There's also steering wheel heating available. You press the seat heating button, then activate it here in the screen. USB-C port now on the facelift, and an inductive charging platform for your smartphone. Makes somehow sense because the Apple CarPlay is also available in a wireless way. Then we have driving mode selectors here. We talk about these, plenty of them while driving. Then cup holders, not adaptive, but some different sizes. You can also close it. And then this huge middle armrest console, very well attached with the red cover. And when you open it, it can also be cooled actually, and a lot of space underneath. And then there's another USB-A charger. So here we go with the digital instruments. Left side in this IV plug-in hybrid, the battery status, so to say an analog gauge, and on the right side then you have the fuel status, which is full at the moment. In the middle then 10.25-inch screen. You can vary the view a little bit. This is more a classic view. You can also change like this, full assistant system view, small speed like this, or like this, a full digital design, or a sporty look then when you have the RPMs focused. This will also be possible. You can also put the GPS on the inside. This would be a good use of a digital instrument, either like this or full all the way. That's of course pretty fancy then. And with the plug-in hybrid here, this gauge of course makes most sense, because then you see here on the top when these are going to 20, 40, these are for the RPMs, for 2000, 4000 RPM zone, this would be the combustion engine. However, if it's on 0, then just the electric drive, and then you can see here how much of the electric drive is being used, power boost, or if you're then in the regions of recuperation, charging again when you're off the throttle, or whether when you're on the brakes or in this recuperation mode. Zoom more to that while driving. So now more details to the screen. You can see here where the battery has been placed. This is then the motor in the front. Everything goes via the front wheels. And then you can see how much you have driven EV, for example. The different EV driving modes, they look like this. Show the battery status right here. You can drive in the E mode, or also in the hybrid mode where the car more sets for itself, or you can also store the battery charge. Not efficient, but it's possible. And again, more to that while driving. The inbuilt GPS here is actually quite cool. Has a good overview and is also responsive enough, so you can very well use that as well. Now here we are, and the music is actually quite nice in general, what we hear from this optional surround system. Now to the rear, which is probably one of the one of the coolest things here of the vehicle. Here you have these manual sunshades, if you like, soft touch at the inside of the doors, also the Alcantara at the inside of the door, and this is the seat as I would be driving, and I mean, just wow, wow, wow. So hardly any other vehicle where I have so much legroom. And this is, again, this seat is, to my driving position, 625 to 1,760 liters would be the normal figure. And then you have to deduct about 150 liters here for the PHEV version. But I think that's okay. See here, below there, just threw the cable in there after charging. So, but there's enough space to store your cables. That's actually good. So 2 cables here for normal household plug and for the charging station. So that, you know, you don't lose too much. That's really okay. Still high enough. And I mean, look at that. That's what I meant here by the Fastback opening of this car. Hey, pure electric acceleration out of the corner from the traffic light. Really nice. That's fun. I didn't even hammer it all the way through. Welcome to Thomas's Driving Lounge with the Skoda Superb IV, the plug-in hybrid version, and also in the Sport line, as I showed you earlier, this sporty trim. So, I'm going to give you an insight here now on the driving part on the plug-in hybrid behavior, and of course in general about the Superb facelift, what has changed, what is in general about this vehicle, and also what's special about the Sport line. So let me start with the plug-in hybrid, because that's also one of the new things and also probably the most special thing about this very trim of the vehicle. So there's this E-mode button, and then I can either pick the E-mode, and I can drive all electric. Of course, at some point, when you drive really high autobahn speeds, it will automatically then switch. However, at normal city speeds and also countryside road speeds, you stay in the electric mode. We're front-wheel drive only here with this 1.4 TSI plus electric motor thing. So everything is done with the front axle. And I mean, the electric motor has so much power. There's even, sometimes the sign in the instruments that there's a little bit of wheel spin in the front, because it's really so powerful. And that's, I think, a pretty fun thing. Of course, nothing where, no. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Well, the good thing is you can pick the driving modes, how you really want to have it. And you can either drive in this all E mode, so then the car is predominantly driving electric as far as it goes. Of course, at really high autobahn speed, it switches on the combustion engine. If you pin the throttle all the way to the end, it will also activate the combustion engine, but you can pretty much floor it out. Just like the very last bit, when you do that, then the combustion engine hops on. But it does allow, a pretty good acceleration, also all electric. And that I think pretty cool. And when you switch it over to the hybrid mode, then the combustion engine is on more often and also switches on earlier. So you can really play around with these driving modes. So that's about the basic, PF characteristic you can pick there. I'll also give you some examples. Another interesting or important thing is when you use the shifting pedals, that's indeed rather for the combustion engine. However, when you're driving all electric at the moment and then you switch down a gear, it will also increase the recuperation without the combustion engine getting on. So that would be a thing you can do when you're driving down a hill for a longer time, for example. Hold the right pedal to get into the normal automatic mode again. Other than that, what you would rather do is you can either drive in a D mode and then the car is rolling when you leave the throttle. So that's actually more efficient when you want to roll. However, if you want some, reduction in speed and want to use more recuperation, and it can be sometimes a little bit strange because when the car is rolling all the time, it also doesn't feel like an electric vehicle, but it also doesn't feel like a combustion engine with engine brake. So you lift the throttle and then the car is just rolling. It's like, oh, stop. So I think it is a better approach, and probably they should have made it standard, to put the gear lever a step behind and then you're into this B mode. And this is like an engine brake mode for a normal combustion engine, but if you're in the electric mode, it also serves as stronger recuperation. So as soon as I go off the throttle now, even downhill, the car is decelerating and the charge meter also goes almost full. And I think that's probably a better way to drive. It's not really one pedal feeling like in an all-electric vehicle, so not a very, very harsh acceleration, but reasonable enough. And I think normally when you step off the throttle, in most situations, especially in city traffic, you want to reduce speed and then maybe go on the brakes. And the brakes first use the recuperation span, and then when there's more brake even needed, then the normal brakes are being applied. Now, again, when I'm in the all-electric mode and I press the throttle through, like from 40 kilometers an hour, but not all the way, 80. So that was also quite nice already. I did not push it all the way through now. So when I'm still in the E mode and I'm really hitting it to the floor from 60 now, see here, 90, that was done, you know, combustion engine gets on. So there is this threshold in the pedal. It's not that easy to feel, but indeed you can push down the acceleration pedal almost all the way through, almost all the way, and you're still in the electric mode. And just at the very, very last bit, then the combustion engine also is on. I can also show you when we're in hybrid mode, then the combined drive is a little bit better, even better acceleration. I'll now accelerate from 50 kilometers. Let's go. Plop, that's 100 kilometers. And this acceleration, 7.7 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour with both combined, is comparable to the acceleration figure of a 190 horsepower petrol or diesel engine version here of this vehicle. So pretty powerful, and price-wise, 5,500 euros extra for the plug-in hybrid version in Germany. And in Germany, that would mean with the governmental benefits plus tax savings, it's not really much more expensive. And now to our conclusion for today with the Skoda Superb Facelift, today as sedan, plug-in hybrid version, IV, and also here in the Sportline. First of all, of course, yeah, striking color, Thomas Blue, called Race Blue. Exterior-wise, I think the facelift is really more elegant, looks a little bit sportier with these headlamps that are now more integrated together with the front grille. I think pretty cool. And of course the Sportline, also my favorite. It just looks a little bit sportier. And the sedan, look-wise, I also prefer it definitely. It's also a great compromise with this Fastback opening. You can drive a sedan style, but still have a very versatile trunk. Of course, the Combi will even offer you a little bit more versatility. The interior, so much space in this Superb. It's really a superb vehicle in this respect, because hardly any other vehicle has so much legroom there. The interior build quality is also really top-notch. Infotainment upgrades with the facelift, of course. You can get a little bit more infotainment than before, bigger screens, more functionality, and so on. Then driving-wise, with the facelift, updated assistance systems, that's actually pretty important. And the new plug-in hybrid version is a very interesting drive. Of course, the higher range throughout all these sister models that have been recently introduced, also with the Passat facelift, for example, the plug-in hybrid there, and also the Golf GTE, the Seat Leon and Audi A3, they all get the same hybrid system. And it's actually very well to use. It might pay off for you, especially if you have governmental benefits, and of course if you have this commuting structure where you drive all electric during the week, for example, and longer trips on the weekend or so, then it can really make sense for you. It is always fun to drive all electric, have these electric moments at least, even when the battery is depleted. And again, it really depends also if you have the charging infrastructure, if it makes sense for you. The way it stands here, very fully packed car, and yeah, already pretty expensive. But then again, not that expensive if you compare it to other high-class premium competitors, because what we see here, what we experience, what this car can give to you, you can actually already compare to some of the big Audi, BMW and Mercedes vehicles. And then it gets really interesting from the price performance, even if you're still in a high trim. Of course, a better overall price performance would be when you pick like a mid-trim Superb, so to say, with a 1.5 TSI or something. That would be the best price performance deal at the moment. But here, you know, different aspects with the other trim levels we've shown to you here today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave us your comments. Also tune into other episodes we linked in the video description or in the pinned comment. See you there. And for example, also with the Superb facelift in the Combi Scout version, this is also an interesting review. See you there or at some of our new reviews. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please keep supporting us, and we'll always keep you entertained and also informed, of course, here on Autogefühl on our channel with our whole team. I hope you really appreciate that. So we keep on our work as long as we can do, just as the best service for you. Thank you so much. See you next time.